from the beautiful Treasure Coast of Florida. You're watching Ham Radio Concepts.
Hey everyone, this is Eric, KJ4YZI. It's been a long time since I've had a review on a Sainsonic or a Baofeng product. This is a Sainsonic GT-890. This is like a micro miniature dual band mobile radio that is from the makers of Baofeng and some other ones. So if you're interested in a cheap, very small, effective radio, we're going to unbox this real quick and take a look at it, and I'll put it on air and talk to a couple of guys and see what happens. So the GT-890 comes with a manual. The manual is a little bit, the translation is okay. You might find a better manual online, or you can refer to my video for some other manuals. Not as robust as the newer Baofeng manuals, but it does its job. What I like about this is it comes with the programming cable and software. Of all the videos I have of Baofeng, this has to be the most requested issue with the radios is programming. I'll show you on this one real quick the programming as I do with all the other ones. It takes just a little bit of knowledge on how to assign a COM port if you can't get this to automatically assign one. But other than that, it comes with the software and the cable ready to go. And look at this radio. Little tiny radio. Look at this. Look at the size of this thing. It's small. Here's my hand. There's the radio. 25 watts on VHF, 20 watts on UHF. 136 to 174 and 400 through 480. So this is unlocked, just like a Baofeng handheld usually is 136 to 174 and 400 to 480. So you can get Marine on here, you can get Business Band, you can actually listen or talk on GMRS. However, GMRS is limited legally to a half a watt, so be careful with that. Mic connector in the front, couple buttons on the top, couple buttons in the front, channel selector and volume. Okay, very basic, very small, but proves to be effective. Comes with the mounting bracket here, as you see in the box. The microphone. Microphone is a standard 8-pin, okay. Keypad on the front, DTMF, alright, lighted. Soft buttons on the front, so you can control the features, you know, go into the menu and control them all from the microphone itself. Your hardware here for mounting the radio, okay, and it's got the screws and all that stuff and a spare fuse in there. Your power cord is under here. Now what's different about this one compared to some of the other ones I've seen is this one comes with a cigarette lighter adapter. No fear, because if you check out my review on the MFJ power supply, luckily I have a cigarette lighter port on the front, so I don't have to cut this off and use it. Okay, but if you want to hardwire this to your battery, you'd want to cut this off and run this to a battery or a power source in your car. Or you can use a cigarette lighter. It doesn't draw that much power, so the average cigarette lighter port should be able to carry the current for this. I'm going to guess at 25 watts it draws something like 6 to 8 amps. Not much, okay? A lot of the cars nowadays have a port in the front that's dedicated 20 amps for power. So anyways, let's go ahead and fire this up, and we will do a couple on-air tests and see what it sounds like. So with it powered up, the screen is a little bit small, but it's not totally packed with features. So really all you have to see is the frequency and what memory channel you're on and the offset, and that's pretty much it. It does have a battery indicator on the top right, as if a Baofeng handheld would, but it's not a battery powered unit, so as long as you have power, that should always remain full. If that indicator has anything but full, you might want to check your power or your connections. So let's make a couple audio tests here. I'll see if I can get somebody on a repeater. Here is the lighted keypad here, and you know, some of the menu functions, if you look here, The menu structure is almost like identical to a Baofeng or a Ushan radio or many other ones that are out there. The manual will tell you what most of these features are, but a lot of the features, again, are, you're very familiar with if you've been using a Baofeng or Ushan radio. A lot of the features are the same. The tones, the shift, DTMF busy channel lockout, and such. The speaker gets extremely loud, and for example, this is a little warm. It does say surface may be hot, so it is just a little bit warm. But that was at quarter volume. If I crank this thing all the way up, let me go to the weather, and it's going to be very loud.
After midnight, seas 4 to 6 feet. Sunday, east winds 10 to 15 knots.
So here's 0 on the volume. Ready?
Monday night, east winds 10 to 15 knots.
That's all you
seas
need.
4
Just
to
a
6
quarter.
feet. No chance of showers.
That's how far it goes.
Monday, southeast winds 10 knots. Seas 3 to 5 feet. Slight chance of showers. Marine forecast for the following.
But what I like about it
Brevard County
is the
light.
fact that it is not very quiet. I have a $350 ICOM handheld, D-Star handheld, and the thing is just super low on audio. I have to hold that thing to my ear. Something like this, if you're driving in a vehicle, would be loud, plenty loud enough to where if you have the windows wide open and you're going down the highway, you can hear it. So that's a major plus, that at higher volumes, it really doesn't distort that bad.
Thursday night, south winds 15 to 20 knots. Seas 4 to 5 feet with.
Now, keep in mind that with any speaker you crank like that and overdrive it, it's going to start fluttering. But there's been some other China models that after half volume the speaker rattles. The speaker is right on the top here. So it's a top firing speaker with really no cover on it, so that's why it's so loud. I mean, it really is a loud radio, and not loud, uncomfortable, distorting loud, just loud as in you can hear it when you're driving down the road. So let's make a contact or two. W2JKD from KJ4YZI. Good evening.
Hey Eric, how you doing? Nice to hear you. What's new in your life?
Well, I'm playing with a, you're on video if you don't mind, I'm playing with a little tiny dual band China radio that I'm making a video on. And this thing is about the size of the palm of my hand for 25 watts on VHF, 20 watts on UHF. What's my audio sound like?
It sounds crisp and clear. It's easy to understand. I would say it's some of the nicer sounding audio that I've heard, to be honest with you. Of course, this machine also has very good audio on it as well. So I can tell that you sound as good as any transmission I've heard you make. By comparison, do you remember the little Baofeng's UV3Rs, which were the radios that came in colors? I think they were only couple of watts or maybe a watt. Do you remember those? Is this size-wise about the same?
No, I'd say this is about the size of a slice of bread. Yeah, and about 2 or 3 inches thick, but about the overall size, about a size of bread, a slice of bread rather.
My golly, that sounds small. And is this designed as a mobile rig or a handheld?
No, it's designed as a mobile. VHF, UHF, 25 watt on VHF, 20 on UHF. My power supply says it's drawing 5 amps. Comes with a cigarette lighter thing to stick right in. So, kind of quick if you had something like the RV or something you wanted to throw a radio in or move it from one to another. It's rather small, but just getting a couple of audio reports here and seeing what it sounds like. I think it's less than $100, and it's doing a good job, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, all I can tell you is you're absolutely full quieting into the machine. The question on most of those smaller radios, for those of us who are in enjoying the hobby for a number of years is whether or not the display is large enough to be legible and easy to read in a mobile environment. That was my biggest complaint about some of the Yaesu radios, as an example, like the 857 Delta. The display is very difficult to read mobile in motion. Okay, I'm sure you're making a video, so I don't want to keep you. Thank you for the opportunity. W2JKD with KJ4YZI.
All right, Jim, 7.3. Yeah, the display is a little small, being that the entire unit is small, but I, too, have the same thoughts on the 857D for the tiny screen mobile. That's one thing I don't like about that radio. All right, thanks for the radio report here, and we'll say 7.3 from KJ4YZI. Have a good night.
7.3's Eric.
KJ4YZI, Sebastian for a test.
Station asking for a test. You're loud and clear through the repeater. Kilo 3 Delta Charlie.
K3DC. This is KJ4YZI. Very good. Name is Eric down here in Sebastian at the house. Just playing with a little mobile radio in the house here. Just wanted to make sure it was working. And I appreciate the report down here in Sebastian. KJ4YZI.
Yes, armchair copy. No problem at all.
Just for your thoughts, what do you think of the audio? Is the audio hot? Is it overpowering? Is it distorted at all?
Sounds clean to me.
Very good. I appreciate it. I'll get back at you at some time. Didn't mean to jump in there and just make a radio check, but wanted to make sure it's working. K3 Delta Charlie from KJ4YZI. 7.3, sir.
7-3, and if I don't talk to you again, have a Merry Christmas. KJ4YGI, K3DC, I'll be clear.
Have a Merry Christmas as well, and a Happy New Year. KJ4YZI clear. Armchair copy. Look at that. Alright, so one of the biggest problems people are having with the Baofeng and Sainsonics are, based on my comments, are programming them. When you download the software from the CD that comes with it, you'll have an icon here or in your start menu bar. Okay? The big problem that they're having is when they plug in their USB programming cable, it's not coming up. It's letting Windows find the driver. So what you want to do is install the driver that comes on your CD first without plugging in the device. Once you plug it in, go to your control panel, go to System and Security, and then go to Device Manager. Under ports, you're going to see prolific USB to serial COM port. Now, I guarantee if you're having a problem, you're seeing a yellow little exclamation mark on here. That's because it's not using the right driver. You can right-click on this and go to Update Driver Software. Do not click Search Automatically. You click Browse My Computer, let me pick from a list of device drivers, and it'll show you compatible versions on here. Now, the one I'm using right now is the 3.6.78.350. That's the one I'm using. And Windows will download this one. Windows does not like to have the driver for this prolific. Okay, so by using this driver, it's going to force this one in here, and then you should have a COM number with no exclamation point. Okay, you could also download the prolific Vista driver is the most compatible. Actually, if you go to Google, type in, this is the easiest way, Miclor Vista driver. You just type that in. Okay, right here, the first one, miclor.com, and get the driver here. Let's see, right here. 3.2.0.0 will work. Okay, so apparently that's working all the way up to Windows 10 now. That's what you want. Anyways, when you get to the software and you get your cable installed, turn the radio on. My radio is on. Go up here to Communication and pick your corresponding COM port number that you saw in Control Manager or Control Panel. Mine is 7. I click Confirm. It's going to read from the radio. The radio restarts. Now it just restarted, okay? And then you can go up here to channel, and this is where all your memories are. So this unit does have 200 memories, okay? And it's like any other programming software. You'll receive and you'll transmit because it doesn't automatically adjust the shift for you. So for example, the repeater in my area is 146.640. My transmit is a negative 600 offset. If you do not know how to calculate that, please study your technician class manual again. It's basic VHF, UHF repeat on knowledge. So my input would be 146.040. My tone would be 107.2. That's for decode. Actually, decode we want off, and encode 107.2. Now, high power, wide or narrow, and the rest of the options you don't have to know, but you can always type in the channel name, PHJ. Okay, and it's the same thing. You go through all of them, add all the features, and then you will click. You can click save and make it a file. All right, we'll just save this to the save file, GT-890. Okay, let's see. DAT. There you go. Okay, so once you click write, it's going to start writing it back to the transmitter, and it does take a little bit of time. For some reason, it takes a long time to write to this. All your other optional features here, your power on message, you can put whatever you want in here. All the different things you can get to in the menu, you can get to on here. For instance, you could even change the frequency range of the radio if you want to just keep it in the ham radio band. All kinds of stuff here. Squelch, okay, timeout timer, stuff like that. And then when you're done, you can click save. Save it to the same file that you named before. And then click on write. And now you're going to see it takes a little bit of time to write. It does take a little while.
So other than that, I mean, it's cheap enough to where you can buy a couple of these and throw one in each car, and even throw one on the boat if you want to. So far, the audio reports I have had, I've only shown you a couple of them, but they say it's absolutely clean. And you know, you can't ask for more for that price. It's relatively inexpensive. The link is in the description of where you can get it. And I hope this answered any questions for you. And I'll say 7.3 for now. And check out my other videos. I have plenty of others on the YouTube. KJ4YZI 7.3.